This week, we saw SteamOS absolutely slaughter Windows in terms of performance, and we'll talk about it. Plus, what's the status of anti-cheat on Linux? We're going to talk about it. And what's Heroic been cooking? All this and more today. That's right, it's Steam Deck and Linux gaming news time. So this week, YouTuber Dave2D demonstrated once again that Linux is the better OS for gaming. In his tests, he compared several games on the Legion Go S running both Windows and SteamOS. The results to me were not surprising in the slightest, but some folks were shocked. So let's take a look at his results. So Cyberpunk 2077 was on average 13 FPS faster on SteamOS than it was on Windows. Helldivers 2 was about 5 FPS faster. Doom Eternal was 9 FPS faster. Spider-Man was about 1 FPS slower. And The Witcher 3 was 10 FPS faster. Now, these results are what I've personally witnessed time and time again. Most games just work better on Linux. It doesn't matter if it's through Proton or as a native game. It doesn't matter what distro you're using. Generally speaking, Linux is just better for gaming. Especially if you've got AMD hardware, and especially if that hardware is power limited like on a handheld. And that's important too, because that brings me to his next test. Battery life. This is where SteamOS really shines. SteamOS came out ahead every single time, and not even by a little bit, by a lot. When testing Cyberpunk 2077, SteamOS gave him an extra 23 minutes of playtime. That's pretty impressive. It's a demanding game, so I would say that any even modest improvement is impressive. But when it came to indie titles, for example, a game like Dead Cells, the delta between Windows and Linux was, I would say, explosive. I mean, SteamOS provided an extra 3.5 hours of playtime. You heard that right. Windows provided 2 hours and 47 minutes of playtime, while SteamOS logged a whopping 6 hours and 12 minutes on the same hardware, guys. And that wasn't a fluke, because testing Hades, Windows came in at just under 2 hours, while SteamOS provided 4 hours and 17 minutes. Windows also sucks at sleep and wake, where on SteamOS this critical feature just works, without any fuss or mess. None of this is news to me though. I mean, I've been singing the virtues of Linux gaming since before the Steam Deck was even a glint in Gabe Newell's eye. But I will say that it is very validating for me to have been working on this channel for over 10 years, and to finally be seeing the PC gaming world waking up to the fact of Linux superiority. I don't know. I'm enjoying this. All right, now it's time for Deals of the Week, where we review some of the best bundles and sales to help you grow your library. This week, we have a bunch of brawlers here in the Humble Badass Brawler bundle. In this bundle, there are 7 games for $16, and they include River City Girls 2, which is playable, Dawn of Monsters, which is ProtonDB Platinum. Then there's the original River City Girls, which is playable, Young Souls, which is verified, Final Vendetta, which is playable, Full Metal Furies, which is playable, and Double Dragon Neon, which is verified. There's also the Learn to Make Games in Godot 4 2025 bundle, which has proven popular with you guys in the past when they did this last year. So I'm actually really excited about this because, as you might know, I made a game using Godot 3. And this is really exciting because this comes with 8 courses on how to build 2D and 3D games, as well as crafting your own shaders, creating character controls, and even how to build your own RPG. Now, if you've been wanting to get into game dev, here's your chance. This bundle is valued at $25 for 8 courses that you can take on gamedev.tv. As with all of my recommendations, these are affiliate links. If you use my links, it'll be helping the channel at no additional cost to you. And if you use my links, thank you. All right, it's 2025 and anti-cheat support on Linux is still a big issue. Windows fanboys are quick to blame Linux for this problem, but any objective view of this shows that this is a problem with developers. Thankfully though, developers are taking Linux gaming more seriously than ever before. This week alone, we've seen 2 rather popular online games get proper anti-cheat support. SplitGate 2 now has beta support for Linux players through Proton. This is a huge deal as SplitGate 2 regularly garners 5 figures worth of concurrent players. But that's not all. This week, Liam from Gaming on Linux was able to confirm that Dune Awakening will be getting Battle Eye support on Linux, specifically calling out SteamOS and Steam Deck. Not only that, but Funcom, the developer, is quoted as saying that they are working with Steam to make this happen. I have no doubt that we're going to continue to see anti-cheat support on Linux flourish even further, especially given our first story in this video. Linux gaming is an absolute force to be reckoned with, and it is only going to continue getting stronger, especially with Valve support and community support here too. All right, next up, let's talk about another streaming app on your Steam Deck. This is Geforce Now. And you might be saying to yourself, well, didn't we already have Geforce Now on the Steam Deck? And yes, we technically did, but it's now available as a native application, and this offers a bunch of improvements and optimization over the previous version, which was essentially Chrome in kiosk mode. This native app provides 4K 60 FPS streams with HDR10 support and DLSS available in supported titles. And streaming offers a huge battery savings too on any handheld device. Now, I do want to mention that NVIDIA offered me preview access here, but I just kind of missed their email, and I only noticed it after I saw coverage of it going live today, and then I checked my mail to see if I had actually been invited, and I had. But the thing is, the email address I have listed publicly here is absolutely inundated with spam, so a lot of things go on unnoticed. If you want to reach out to me, you can use the contact form on my website. That's the best way to reach out to me. But I do want to go over the installation here. The installation process is pretty straightforward. You just head to desktop mode on your Steam Deck and then download the setup file from their website. But I do think that they should really fix this by adding the NVIDIA Now app to FlatHub instead, because doing it this way is wrong in every sense of the word. Anyway, once it's done downloading, go to your downloads folder and click the GeForce Now setup.bin file. Click the execute button and then click continue, because you really should not be installing applications you downloaded from your browser. Anyway, this is going to open up the installer for GeForce Now for your Steam Deck. When it's done, you can simply head back into game mode and then go to the non-Steam games section of your library, and it will be there. Then just launch it and sign in with your NVIDIA account. So obviously we've had the browser-based way to stream games from GeForce Now for ages on the Steam Deck, like at least a year, maybe two. And I think that it speaks volumes that NVIDIA saw enough profitability potential in the Linux gaming space to make their native app available on Linux. I would love to know your thoughts on that. Do you think that that means that they see a potential future for Linux gaming? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, why not like that smash button? It's the best way to tell YouTube you want to see more videos just like this. And did you know that I release new videos every week? So get subscribed so you don't miss those. I want to thank the amazing folks who have subscribed and become paying members of my blog, the Bryant blog. It's because of their support and the people on Patreon and my YouTube members that I'm able to continue doing the work that I'm doing here. You can actually become a contributing member using the links below. The best way to become a member is by becoming a member of the blog. There's less overhead, there's fewer fees, and there's a direct line of communication between you and I. Plus, I'm doing lots of cool stuff over on the blog. Check it out. All right, let's get back to the news. So there's a new version of Heroic Launcher, and it comes with some excellent updates. Not only are there several fixes for various services and specific games as well, but it also includes new convenience features like being able to download new versions of Proton directly into Steam's compatibility folder. This will save you a bit of time for sure, but I think the biggest thing here is the newly redesigned game page. I'm a sucker for UI design. It's my day job. I build websites for a living, and I think that this looks fit. I especially love this frosted glass gradient combo in the info panel here, and that sharp like cream outline. My God, that looks nice. If you'd like to learn more about Heroic Games Launcher, then you can watch my video about it here. All right, I want to talk about this. Valve just published a new open source utility that should help distro maintainers add support for SteamOS features in their operating system. I think that this is pretty cool. It's called SteamOS Manager, and it's available under the MIT license on Valve's GitLab. Essentially, it's an abstraction layer that allows Steam to manage a system's TDP, GPU clock, BIOS and dock updates, storage device maintenance tasks, external storage device formatting, max battery charging level, and more. I think that this is super neat because there are distros out there that provide their own ways of doing this, and each one does it differently. Bazzite and Chimera have their own menus that don't necessarily tie in very well with the performance menu on the Steam Deck, or in big picture mode, I should say. And I think that this will really make things a lot simpler, and I think this could be a great thing here, being able to manage your GPU clock or TDP or whatever programmatically from outside applications. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. Now, I want to take a moment and thank people over on the Bryant blog, the Patreon supporters, and my YouTube members for making this show a reality. If you'd like to see your name listed over here, then you can use the links below to make a monthly contribution. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.